Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check the video out, guys. And I do really mean that. Thank you very much for watching my videos here on Intuitive Angling. YouTube is a very tough place to succeed in 2025. Everybody and his brother's got a YouTube channel on fishing now, so thank you very much for checking mine out. Big thank you from me and my family there. Guys, today I'm going to talk about the #1 lure for wintertime bass fishing that has become my #1 lure over the past 3 or 4 years. You really, if you fish in the wintertime and you have a lake that has over about 2.5 foot of visibility, anything over that, you need to have at least 2 or 2.5 foot of visibility, and you've got water temperatures in the wintertime that get in the 40s or the 50s. This bait right here is going to catch more bass than any lure that you have in your box. So I'm going to show you what that is in today's video and give you guys some good tips and advice on how to fish it there. Also, guys, before we get started talking about winter bass fishing, I'd like to invite everybody to please check out my Fish in the Moment winter lake map breakdowns. These are lake maps that I have built specifically over the years for fishinthemoment.com on their website. A great resource, guys, to get some good fishing places on any lake that you want to across the country. It's almost like a little app that you can download straight to your fish finder unit. It's just a really good way to learn a lot about a lake and get some good GPS waypoints you can go straight to catch some fish at. So I'll have that link in the description of the video there. And also, guys, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson, if you guys would like to learn a lot about jerkbait fishing with me, I'll take you out on Table Rock Lake or Stockton Lake here in Missouri. Shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, and I'll get you the details for that. So really appreciate that. Okay, now there's a lot of different baits that work in the wintertime, but the one that I'm going to talk about today is by far, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it catches 10 times more fish than any other lure that you can throw. I don't even care if you're a scoper. This is going to work even if you're a live scoper. But the way that I fish it, I'm not scoping with it. It's like a traditional sense. And I've talked about it a little bit for you hardcore regulars. And here it is, guys. It's actually 2 of them. It's the Megabass X nanahan +1 and the X nanahan +2. This is a finesse jerk bait. And the difference is they're both the same bait. They're about 3 inches long. The +2 has got a little bit larger lip on it. So the +2 will get down on 6-pound test line over 10 feet deep. And the +1 is going to get down sort of in that, 6 to 9 foot range, something like that. But these are the 2 models that I use, and I do use both of them depending upon the depth I want to accomplish. We'll talk in here. Now, here's the thing about wintertime jerkbait fishing that a lot of people don't understand is once that water temperature starts to bottom out, doesn't matter where you're at in the country. Let's say, for example, if the water in the lake you fish, the coldest it gets all year long is 45 degrees. This nanahan is going to work anytime that water temperature is at its coldest or maybe 5 degrees on either side. So let's say that, water temperature 40 to 50 degrees. If you sort of have a cold water temperature of 45, it's going to work anywhere between December, January, and February. A lot of what happens in the wintertime is bass prefer a smaller bait. That's why your finesse swim baits, like the little 2.4 inch Kitex, work really good. The Ned rigs, little 1/4 ounce spoons, small little swim baits on an A rig, something like that, and finesse jerk baits. I can promise you guys, and I'll put this up against anyone. If one of you guys books an on-the-water lesson with me, like at Stockton or Table Rock this year, and I'm using the X nanahan, I'll give you a free trip if you beat me on a full-size jerkbait if I'm using this thing at Table Rock Lake. That's how confident I am. It's just an incredible fish catcher. If you throw a typical, just show you guys a typical jerkbait like a Megabass Vision 110 or a Rogue or a Lucky Craft Pointer or whatever. If somebody is throwing this thing 4.5 inch jerkbait in the coldest water of the year, and somebody else in the boat has this one, you're going to catch 10 to 1 on this bait as you will the big jerkbait. And if you don't believe me, just come with me and I'll show you for sure. This is something that I have learned from years of experience. I helped develop, a lot of you guys know I helped design the Megabass Vision 110 for Megabass back in the late 90s. I've been jerkbait fishing since the 1970s. If there's one thing that I do know about fishing, it's how to fish a jerkbait. And this is what you want, guys. I'll link this in my Tackle Warehouse link. I'll put both the Nanahan Plus 1 and 2 in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to order a couple through my link there. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about how you want to fish them and how you set it up. Maximum pound test line that you want to use on this bait is 6 pound test. I use 4 and I use 6 pound test Seaguar and Vizex line. If the water is really clear and if I'm fishing open water structure like off the end of points or something like that, and it's really cold and I want to get that bait down at its maximum depth, say my water visibility is 6 feet and I don't have any wind and it's a bright bluebird sky, I put it on 4 pound test Seaguar and Vizex, Megabass Addermine spinning rod. On a long cast with 4 pound line, guys, you can get that bait down super deep, over deep water. I can throw it over 30 or 40 foot of water and that bait gets so deep it'll pull those fish off the bottom in 30 or 40 foot of water with it. But most of the time, I like to fish it on 6 pound test Seaguar and Vizex. And typical wintertime, places, I'm fishing it around points or on bluff banks, on steep banks. If there's grass beds on the lake, I'm fishing it over the top of the grass beds. But since this is a lipped bait, you fish it different than a jerk bait. This has got a diving lip, almost like a crankbait. It doesn't have a lip like a traditional jerk bait does on it. You can notice there. So the action that you put on it is a little bit different. What you want to do is you have to utilize what I call the twitch and pull method with it. And it's almost like I fish it like a hybrid jerkbait crankbait. I'm not fishing it like a jerkbait where I'm going boom, 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 boom. And I'm not fishing it like a crankbait where I'm just reeling it in. But I'll throw the Nanahan out there, make a long cast with it. That's another thing to remember, guys, in the wintertime. Make a long cast, because the longer your cast, deeper your bait gets. But anyway, I'll throw it out there, make a long cast. I'll reel it down like that, and then I'll twitch it like this. Once I get it down to what I think is the deepest part, I'll twitch it with my rod tip. See how my hand's just moving just like that? I'll twitch it 4 or 5 times, and then I'll pull it. And then I'll let it set for a little bit, and then I'll snap it. I'll go boom, boom, just twice. And then after I stop it, I'll twitch it a little bit. Twitch, 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 twitch. Pull it maybe a foot or 2. Boom, boom. This is something that's taken me forever to figure out. That is how you want to work the Nanahan, especially in cold water. If you have a lake that has spotted bass, largemouth, smallmouth, I don't care if it's primarily one or the other or a mix on it, they will absolutely tear this thing and take it out of your hand in the winter time of the year. Bunch of different colors, guys. You can just look through that Tackle Warehouse link of mine and get you some good colors you think are good. But just give it a try, man. If you don't believe me, try it. I mean, if you're one of those guys out there that, you're a hardcore 4.5 inch jerkbait angler in the wintertime and you use a bait caster, which is, you never want to use a bait caster, but if you're set in your ways and you use a bait caster with 10 pound line and a big jerkbait, I guarantee, guys, if you come with me with your jerkbait, with your bait caster, with 10 pound line and a full size jerkbait, and I'll have my 4 pound line with this Nanahan on my spinning rod, you'll be begging me for a spinning rod with a Nanahan by the time the day's over, I can promise you. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Like I said, link in the description. Hope you guys give it a try and catch some good ones on it. We'll talk later.